Welcome to Mystical Messages. I am Hilary Harley, your podcast host. I am a soul guide and astrologer. Mystical Messages is your podcast gateway to discover and learn more about the realm beyond the veil, including all things intuitive, metaphysical, and the healing arts. To learn more about my work or to book a session with me, please visit hilaryharley.com. Today, I am so delighted to bring you my monthly astrology forecast. We will be breaking down the astrology for the month of November 2022. And I have called this message today, this podcast episode for the forecast of November 2022, The Fate and the Furies. Because I think we all know that these are really treacherous times, and it is a public service announcement before I get into the forecast to really practice self-care. Music, listening to music, playing an instrument, being out in nature as much as possible, walking your dog, or if you don't have a dog, just walking around the block, 10, 20 minutes every day really helps reconnect us to our soul. And we are soulful and spiritual beings first. We are here learning lessons in a human and physical body. So music, water, drinking water, being on, in, around, or near water, maybe on the weekends, or if you have time during the day to just walk by a river or a lake, it's really helpful to clear the cobwebs. And we need that clearing right now as the veil thins toward the end of 2022. So, Fate and the Furies. To say that these are extraordinary times is undoubtedly an understatement. No one alive has ever seen the seismic shifts now occurring on planet Earth. The depth and breadth of changes occurring are indeed difficult to find comparison in the history of mankind. A colleague of mine recently captured it best when she said, "We are evolving from Homo sapien to Homo luminous." It is the equivalent of going from Neanderthal to Cro-Magnon stages of human development. This is no small feat. Simply put, we are experiencing an immense heart opening. Man is learning to lead now from his heart rather than his mind. And this month, the gateway to this evolution swings wide open, marking a distinct closure on anything old and outdated. November drops us in the crucible of Scorpio time, ruled by Pluto, god of the underworld. Life's layers peel back from the surface with an intensity that is hard to pierce. We see the underbelly and dirty crevices lurking beneath the surface, whether we want to or not. Thus opens November 2022. Day 1 gives us a taste of how the month will unfold, a preview, if you will, of coming attraction. So what gives? Well, on November 1st, the moon pairs tightly with taskmaster Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. On its own, this is not an easy duo. as the soft and nurturing moon chafes in detached Aquarius, and even more so, butting up against hard-nosed Saturn dictating the rules and calling the shots. Together, they challenge radical Uranus and the lunar north node. In short, the huddling masses will be heard, loud and now. Deepening the intensity of the moment, the planetary trio challenges Venus and Scorpio, making for one ugly love triangle. The usually lovely Venus is not so kind in seductive Scorpio. Here, Venus is more like a woman scorned and bound for ruthless revenge. You might feel the burn. If things weren't dicey enough, motivating Mars just turned retrograde on October 29th. In Gemini, we rethink, revisit, and reflect on the decisions we've made that brought us to this moment. We also stew about the decisions of others that impact our lives. The proverbial rubber hits the road now, searing the scalding pavement and churning up acrid smoke. From Homer's The Iliad, here is a quotation for you. "The Furies that under earth take vengeance on men, whosoever hath sworn a false oath." When we tune into ourself, our soul, stop and quiet the invasive noise of our minds and the noise all around us, we feel our truths. But this takes some effort. It may feel like we're bumbling around in the dark as the Moon, Jupiter, Neptune trio in Pisces duel with Mars, creating an enormous smoke and mirror effect. So it's imperative we practice discernment during the first week of November, because the cosmic spin doctor is hard at work. It is up to us to decipher who and what is real. Ask questions if you are unsure, and take care that you don't fall for any con artist or flim-flam scam. Again, how to manage this energy? Ask questions. No matter how uncomfortable the questions may be for you to ask, or how you think your questions might make the other person feel, the time for politesse is over. Your questions reveal volumes of information. Sit with the answers that you uncover. Check how your new knowledge resonates with your soul, because your soul never lies. Do you feel content, honorable, clean? Or do you feel heavy, stagnant, and unclear? Feelings and emotions tell us what our soul wants us to know. Remember, the truth does not mind being questioned, while a lie does not like being challenged. So follow your conscience accordingly. By Friday, November 4th, the moon enters fiery Aries, and she is looking for a fight. The Aquarian masses stewing under the Scorpio sun are triggered by the raging Aries moon, making for one troubling cocktail. We are primed and teed up for the full moon lunar eclipse on Tuesday, November 8th, which also happens to be Election Day in the United States. If all of this sounds dire, it is. Pluto's daughters, the Furies, are ready to roll. Consider laying really low the weekend of November 4th to the 6th. Definitely plan to be home before midnight if possible. Nothing good ever happens in the wee hours when stoked by such cosmic energy. Then, kaboom! Around breakfast time on Tuesday, November 8th, the full moon in Taurus opposes the Scorpio sun, conjoined the north and the south lunar nodes. On its own, this eclipse is very strong, getting the whole world's attention at nearly 15 degrees of Scorpio and Taurus. Anyone looking for revenge or to send an unmistakable message and have their day certainly will. Why? The sun, which is our will, messenger Mercury, communication, and Venus, relationships and values, oppose Uranus, indicating rebellion and change, and the moon, emotions. Shaken and stirred, the ingredients energetically push this eclipse over the top. Every one of us is put on notice at a minimum, and many are deeply triggered. Mr. Putin may have his say, and the women of Iran, not to mention the United States, certainly will at the ballot box. Tangible values and intangible rights are front and center, dominating what is up for grabs. Scorpio, the intangible and the unseen, rules sex and sex organs. Venus rules women. Taurus rules tangible, money, and governs kitchen table concerns, fomenting heavy issues at our polling stations. The government inserting itself into our private parts, inflation eating away at the cost of living, mortgage rates rising through the roof, and a flailing stock market diminishing retirement funds all weigh heavily on us. Vote your conscience or vote your wallet do not have to be mutually exclusive. Both are true now, especially when long-term consequences are factored in. Scorpio and its Pluto rule death and regeneration, the veritable phoenix rising from the ashes. There is no escaping this transformative process, as it is the great equalizer, whether physically or psychologically. In the aftermath of a storm, there is an inevitable wasteland to be faced and eventually cleared away. It has taken a very long time for us to reach this day, and here we are. Whether a career, our home, a relationship, a treasured endeavor, what is done is now totally over. We may feel at an utter loss the week after the eclipse between November 9th and 16th. During the immediate time rolling in its wake, self-care is essential. At a minimum, try to follow basic maintenance, sleeping and eating well. Do what you can when you can, even for just 15 minutes a day to revive and refresh yourself with exercise, meditation, music, hydration, and being in nature. When we allow for this, it fosters a necessary soulful cleansing and clearing to occur. We can hear and tune into our own beings as we have not before or for a very long time. Then, following a rhythm older than time itself, the light dawns. The night is over. Whether the trial of hard-learned life lessons or a dark night of the soul, maybe both, light breaks on the horizon, heralded by the planets. First Venus, then Mercury, move into sagacious Sagittarius, bearing truth and knowledge on November 16th and 17th. The torch by which they shine allows us to see, perhaps for the first time, what has been kept from us or that which we've intentionally ignored. The resources that Venus and information that Mercury bring to us and our attention remind us that we really are free. We always have been and will be. Sagittarius rules freedom and truth, born from all knowledge, both book-learned and hard-earned experience. As the light of dawn grows stronger through midday, watch for an unmistakable, expansive understanding while the sun joins Venus and Mercury in Sagittarius on November 22nd. It is no accident that the new moon in Sagittarius occurs on the very same day that generous Jupiter, Titan of abundance and knowledge, and ruler of Sagittarius itself, turns direct motion on November 23rd. We live, we learn. The storm has passed, and we survived. We gained a remarkable and unforgettable education from our experience. Be sure to take a moment to reflect on your incredible journey, especially given that the timing occurs on the day before Thanksgiving. On the surface of it, your Thanksgiving travel plans should be smooth. On a broader and deeper level, use the pause afforded by the extended holiday to realize and acknowledge all you have accomplished, and yes, what you do have to be grateful for. New moons signify new beginnings. Find a moment over the holiday weekend to set your intentions. Handwrite 3 to 5 goals and wishes to work on over the next month, season, or year. What we think, what we say, what we intend, we do indeed become. It is never more important to take care with the words we use now. For what you put out into the world, you inevitably receive back. We did not create the laws of the universe, but we surely must live by them. As above, so below. Sagittarius season reminds us, if not guarantees that. The more we consider ourselves modern and beyond the rules of natural order, the more we come to terms with how alike we are to the ancient mariners of old, and with only the stars to guide our way. That brings us to the end of this episode of Mystical Messages. To learn more about my work or to book a session with me, please visit hilaryharley.com. Thank you for listening today. Please join me again in 2 weeks when I will bring you my interview with Laura Joseph, a healer and speaker and medium. We will be discussing her new book, Secrets of Healing. Thank you for listening, and I wish you many blessings as you journey forward.